English, so if anybody needs also translation or something, I think there are enough headphones for that. I would like to thank you all for coming, and I'm sure we were fascinated last night with what we saw, and we're really envious of Sharjah to have this here, but it's also one of the nice things that we can all use it, and I think it will be a hub and a meeting point for us all in publishing, and it's really something that we all see happening around the world. It will be like points of interest that we can join. Today we're going to discuss the challenges of global distribution in the digital age. We always complain in the Arab world that we have a huge problem with distribution. Maybe we have a lot of readers now. We're almost 400 million speaking the same language, but we can't reach our reader, and digital might solve a lot of problems. So we'll try today to find with the gentlemen how in the Arab world and in general we can overcome this and become maybe help us more in the publishing process. Today I'm honored to be with Mr. David Taylor from Ingram?
Yes.
Yes. Just making sure. And Mr. Taylor was named Senior Vice President, Content Acquisition, International Ingram Content Group, and Group Managing Director, Lightning Source UK in February 2010. He is also Director of Lightning Source Australia and currently President of Lightning Source France, which is a joint venture with Hachette Livre. Also, Mr. Steve Poach, and President of Executive Chief Officer of Overdrive, a company that's founded in '86, and I knew that he was working digital since '86, so actually since the disc, and that was really impressive. He also serves on its board of directors as CEO. Steve leads an executive strategic team focused on Overdrive's vision to create a world enlightened by reading. We'll start first with a small presentation, and then we will start the questions. Please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. While they're bringing up my slide, I want to thank Sheikh Odur for hosting us with His Highness last night and Ahmed for a fabulous dinner. As mentioned, there are challenges, but there are significant opportunities for Arabic publishers to sell your works in Arabic language. And today I'm going to talk about the digital editions. Ebooks, these are books you can read on your phone, tablet, iPad, or audiobooks you can download and listen. But as mentioned, I know on behalf of myself and David Taylor and many of you in the audience, we're very proud to be here to congratulate the Sharjah Book Authority on this milestone, not only for the region, but for the world. It's exciting to be part of this new initiative, bringing together excellence to promote Arabic culture, Arabic books, authors worldwide. Very quickly, Overdrive is a company I founded in '86, working with book publishers who wanted to sell their book electronically. At the time, it was big floppy diskettes. We then had 10 years of CD-ROM, and the last 15, 20 years almost exclusively internet and digital download. I'm proud to say that today, Overdrive is the single largest supplier of ebooks and digital audiobooks to schools and libraries worldwide. We can reach every city in North America, and we are the single largest supplier in most countries where libraries, schools, and universities are enabling digital books to be discovered and read on mobile devices. I'm proud to say that we've been working for 30 years with the largest US and UK trade publishers, and very delighted that at this fair, we are making connections with many Arabic and international publishers. We have a table upstairs at stand 146. If there's anything interesting, stop up and see Mr. Steve Rosado this afternoon. But this is how it works. The customers for your digital books are schools, universities, and tens of thousands of public libraries around the world. They buy a digital edition. It is protected, the copyright is managed, but it enables a reader with a library card to download a copy for a limited period. It's a digital book loan from the library. It's protected, it automatically expires, and if the library buys 3 copies of your book, in most cases only 3 people can use it at once. It's a very solid model for authors and publishers. Of course, some of the things you should be thinking about now is because between Ingram and Overdrive, we cover the world. We have buyers in every country and readers worldwide. Make sure you keep global rights for your original material and your digital books and or the audio. I will tell you that it was in 2000 that we introduced what is now the open, free industry ebook standard called EPUB. And EPUB 3 is the current edition for Arabic books, for Chinese and Asian language books, that allows your titles to look beautiful on any size screen, small phone all the way up to large monitors. So EPUB is important for children's and graphic books. They can also do beautiful rendering on any screen. Also, it's very important that to sell your books and to have them discovered, that you do invest in a quality catalog of information. We just, to sell your books, do not want to just have the name of the book and the author and the pub date. We need descriptions. We need subject categories. And there are very easy templates that you can fill out, these dozens of catalog or metadata. As you know, libraries live by their bibliographic records, their catalogs. You want your book discovered many different ways so people can discover, purchase, and enjoy your works. That's with a good catalog information for every title. And without getting into too much details, different institutions have different models. So for example, in the school market, it's important that the school district have access so every student can have their own copy. So that might be a subscription or simultaneous access fee that you pay, that gets paid to the publisher every year. In public library, we use similar to print. If the library buys 3 copies, only 3 people can use it at the same time. And as was mentioned, there are over 400 million Arab speakers around the world. Today, Overdrive is selling Arabic ebooks, Arabic audiobooks throughout the United States, the UK, as well as other countries in the world, including in the Arab markets. We've been servicing for about 7 years Qatar National Library, schools and libraries in Saudi Arabia. And I'm proud to say that books are selling. They're adult fiction, they're nonfiction, and for children and young adult. If you have an Arabic title, I recommend you put it into an EPUB ebook format and find not only Overdrive and Ingram, but any other distributor. Just don't give exclusives. This way you'll be able to do deals with all of us. I just mentioned this because just last week, I've been working with the National Library of Singapore for over 12 years. And in addition to reaching consumers for books and children, they now are servicing all the business and employees in Singapore with a digital business library. So if you're publishing reference books, nonfiction, academic titles, this is also a great channel. And next week, or this week, or the end of the week, I'm very proud to announce we will be launching the first digital public library here in the UAE with the Sharjah Library. So we even are going to have customers very close to home for your ebook here in Sharjah. This is mine and Steve's contact information. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve. Mr. Davis, yes.
Well, thank you, Steve, and thank you, Sheikha Badur. It's a great honour to be here, and I'm not even going to try and match the eloquence of my American colleague by repeating everything he just said about what a fantastic party that was. I think I ate more food than I've eaten in the last 4 days last night. So, the question we were asked to address in this session, and I'm a big believer in answering the question that you're always asked whether you're in an exam situation or whether you're doing a presentation, is what are the challenges of distribution of the global age? So I'm going to offer you some thoughts on this and some thoughts about how Ingram is addressing that, and a quick advertisement for Ingram. We're the world's biggest distributor of books. We are the world's biggest book wholesaler. We're a third-party distributor. And the thing I'm really going to concentrate on in my introductory remarks is the world of print on demand through Lightning Source. And I think, as many of you know, we're engaged with our friends at the Chartered Book Authority on bringing the magic of print on demand and what it means for the distribution of books to this really exciting region. So what are the challenges for distribution in the global age? I think there are three big ones. There are more titles in print than ever before. There are more publishers than ever before. And there are more books than ever before. And as an ex-Blackwell bookseller, I think that's rather a good thing, both philosophically and commercially. But it brings some real challenges. There's a very famous English author called C.S. Lewis, who I'm sure many of you know, wrote a fantastic set of children's books called the Narnia Chronicles, and he said, "You can never get a cup of tea large enough or a book long enough to suit me." And I'd agree completely with C.S. Lewis on that point. So why are there more titles and more publishers and more books than ever before? Is it because humanity's become more adept at writing? Probably. I think there are two big reasons I would point to. One is the internet. The internet has allowed many things to occur. It's also allowed books to be discovered in new ways that were not possible 25 years ago. So if you're interested in the history of 18th century rat catching, and we have some books on that in our library, they're rather good, I would recommend them. You can find them on the internet, and we can manufacture them on demand. The other big thing that's driven this is what print on demand has done. And I just want to give you a very simple definition of what print on demand is, because it's really nothing to do with printing. And that may seem rather weird. It's really a distribution solution. And the reason I say it's nothing to do with printing is it changes the way the publishing model works from one that's always been premised upon decide to publish a book, guess how many copies to print, get it wrong, print too many or print too few, and the world is full of warehouses full of books that have been printed that haven't yet been sold. Print on demand allows a publisher to actually sell a book first and then print it. It allows a publisher to keep books in print forever. It allows books to be brought back into print that have previously gone out of print. So those are two of the reasons why I think in the world of distribution, I've got a very high-tech presentation here, as you can see, unlike my esteemed colleague. So what does that mean for a distributor in this world that we live in now? Well, if you think about distribution, there are really two types of business models. There's the wholesaler and there's the third-party book distributor, and Ingram is in both of those spaces. What does the wholesaler do? The wholesaler in the world of books buys books from publishers and sells them to retailers. Ingram does that in the US, Gardner's and Bertram's in the UK, Libri, K&B in Germany. It's a one-to-many relationship. The third-party book distributor typically has exclusive relationships to sell and distribute and market, in some cases, a publisher's list. But if we're in a world where there are many more titles and they're growing at a phenomenal rate, Ingram has over 16 million titles in our database from over 30,000 publishers, these business models that are premised upon holding physical inventory have got a big problem. You can't hold all those books in a warehouse. So you really have to use the print-on-demand model to make sure that people who want to buy these books can both discover them and have them manufactured. So I would contend that the pre-OD model, the single copy book production model, represents the future of book distribution, whether you're a wholesaler or a third-party book distributor. Advances in digital printing have come on leaps and bounds, so the technology has got better and better, as it usually does. This is re-engineering the wholesale model and the book distribution model. And to come back to the original question, which was what does this mean for a global industry, if you start to build that out and build these facilities, around the world, in North America, in Europe, and maybe in this region,